Hey, it's Walt with One Fall WrestleCast. Hey, this week, man. Hey, we appreciate you hanging out till Wednesday to wait for us. We went to Monday Night Raw in Pittsburgh. Can't wait to talk about that. That was a great night. Um, Triple H retired this week. Kind of crazy, like with Stephen A. Smith. Not really sure. Can't wait to hear some opinions on that. And there's all kinds of just crazy shit going on. Like Tom said right before we came in, it's Mania week. Everybody trying to get a hug. So we're just gonna come in here and we're gonna do what we do. I'll catch you on the other side.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
Can I have a Mania hug?
Gentlemen,
I want a Mania hug.
I mean, I gave you a Mania hug on Monday, bud.
You did. It was. I still felt it actually.
You know, I mean,
I did. The Walt hugs carry me. They carry me through. Derek hugs are good too. I got Derek hug too, which was also good.
They're
Makes me
smaller.
happy.
They're smaller.
Well, yeah, they are smaller.
Ooh, yeah.
I love it.
Hey, so let's just go ahead and let's just lead off with that, man. Monday Night Raw in Pittsburgh. Go home for WrestleMania.
That was a hard show to sit through. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
much.
man, it wasn't.
You
great.
left early. How early did you leave?
No, we left after the main event.
You
Oh,
missed
okay.
the best part. You
Whatever.
missed the two dark matches. You missed the best part of the night.
I mean, probably, yeah.
Literally, yeah. I mean, you missed
What were the
Austin.
dark? Theory. Yeah, I heard. Who were the dark matches?
So Seth Rollins came out while RK Bro was in the ring and was like, "Oh, we're cool, man. We're cool." And then like Austin Theory came out and talked some shit to Seth Rollins, and then talked some shit to RK Bro. And next thing you know, we have a tag match, and ding, ding, ding. Austin Theory's like, "I'm gonna beat your ass," and then he got rolled up. 1, 2, 3. Match was over.
Okay, well,
It was funny, you know. But after that, we got Austin Theory versus Seth Rollins, which was actually a pretty good little match.
I mean, I could imagine they're both pretty good in-ring competitors.
It was a
You
good
know,
match.
it-
It was honestly probably the best match of the show,
I
which is
I
disappointing.
mean, I didn't see the Finn Balor match. It was ending as we got in.
for main event before
for main
then.
event. So I mean, it very well could have been. I heard Balor's music. I'm like, Balor? Oh, Balor's on main. Why is the U.S. champ was on main event? At least he won. Which we can't say for the Intercontinental champ who got beat. What, 3 minutes?
Yep, clean in the middle of the ring for the third time in a row.
Third time in a row. Yeah. So two objectively bad things. One was that they couldn't find somebody else to job to Austin Theory. I mean, they clearly could have. There's other people. Two, they jobbed the Viking Raiders to almost real hard.
Yeah, that was awful.
It was. I mean, remember when they were cool? Remember when they were the Raw Tag Team Champs? Yeah. Okay.
Awful.
Anyway, they're
Vince
the new.
does not remember.
They're the new Ascension. They really are.
Yeah, that's
They're-
fair.
There you go.
They're the new, they fired the Ascension. They're like, these Viking boys, bring them up here.
Yeah.
And the
that's
thing
it.
is, man, they're a great tag team, right?
They're great. They're great in the ring too. They look explosive, and I mean, maybe they can't talk, but I don't think they need to be able to talk to just have. They're like the Road Warriors didn't talk. They just killed people.
Well,
They're like
they started to
not true.
talk,
You're right. They did talk,
and then
talking animals.
they got really good at talking,
They did.
and then they didn't need Paul Ellering anymore.
And they didn't need Paul Ellering anymore. Well, they had other managers too. They had
Sonny.
Yeah, Sonny was
Those are the
they
other two.
valet. They really had valets. I think they had other women as valets as well. But yeah,
At that point in time, too, you got to say for sure that talking was a little different as far as it didn't need to be comprehensible. It could just be random yellings of multiverses and just
I think that was
rage
just
episodes.
Destrucity.
That was
Yeah.
just the Warrior. That was just the Ultimate Warrior. That wasn't. That wasn't. It wasn't anybody else. That was just the Warrior.
He was a made man. I don't know. It worked for him.
It really did. But I really think that other than those two segments, I would say were objectively bad. I went back and kind of picked back through the show.
I haven't done that yet.
See, the rest of it, I did because it couldn't have been as bad as I thought it was, as bad as it felt, right? And then I looked.
No, it was pretty bad. The dude in front of us was sleeping.
Yeah.
Well, that was because I think that was, and that's what I was getting at. So many commercials. You think about Raw and how many commercials are on Raw. This is why Raw is hard to watch, period, is because it's 15 minutes, 10 minutes commercials, 15 minutes, 10 minutes commercials. It's not. I don't know how they keep a cohesive show together because I feel like there's more commercial breaks on Raw than there are on any other television show ever.
I gotta get that money.
Well, and they don't do the picture in picture through the break like they do, NXT would do, I think AEW does, SmackDown.
Just AEW and NXT, pal.
Okay, well, so they don't do that, but everything stops dead during a commercial break. Even if the match is going on, there's no match happening. And I even texted you guys during the main event because I think that was really the only match that went through a commercial break.
It was because everything else was a lot of storyline advancement segments.
It was promos and the clips. I watched the Titantron a lot. I could have watched that at my house.
Yeah, it was like we watched a Raw on a 200-foot television rather than our 60-inch televisions. It was basically that.
Yeah, and pretty much.
The thing was, man, it's not like any particular segment was bad or anything like that. The matches were good. I thought the matches that we actually did see were fairly good.
I thought the main event was good. I liked the main event.
But here's the thing I think that we talked about the most, in the group message coming out, right, was we got advertised all this shit and we didn't see any of it.
No. It was just okay. Brock Lesnar came out and talked. That was fun. I got the crowd hyped for sure. We saw Roman Reigns. That was great. Roman cut a great promo.
Nice little treat, man. That's for sure.
I was great. I thought that was great. I mean, I love Bobby Lashley came back. I like that. That kind of saved that Viking Raiders segment for me. I like Bobby Lashley though. You guys maybe don't.
I do too. I'm glad to see that he's back.
It didn't save the segment so much, but it was it didn't leave a bad taste in my mouth before they went to commercial.
Yeah, but it's hard to look at that and be yo, those are former tag team champions, and
I know
those are not squash match guys.
No, those are guys.
What you're trying to do with Omos?
No, Omos is
Omos is trash.
Omos stuff. Look, it was real bad. It was real bad.
Mm-hmm.
He's real bad. Yeah, those giant Frankenstein. Although, oh my God, they stood Bobby Lashley next to him. Adam and I were flipping out holy crap, look how big this dude is. Yeah. This is the biggest dude.
Yeah, he's legit huge in real life.
It didn't click until they stood, because Bobby Lashley is one of the most immense human beings on earth, right?
Oh, he's a monster.
He's a top 5% giant human beings on earth, right? Dwarfed. Looked like a child next to Omos.
When his music hit, Derek looked at me and he goes, "Oh, we about to find out how big this guy really is." And Bobby Lashley hits the ring, and we were just like, "Whoa!"
I think the crowd was dead silent. I don't think anybody had words for it. It was like, he got
a pretty good pop.
He did. I'm actually glad that I was there to see that in person, just to see with my own eyes how big this that's one of the, I talk about it all the time. The one time I met Kane, and he ducked to get into the room in a hotel, and I was like, this was like that, but then a little bit exponentially, because it's Omos is such a big guy. What's Glenn Jacobs actually 6'10", something like that?
Yeah.
Omos is legit 7'1", 7'2". He was a full head taller than Bobby Lashley.
Big boy.
Who is 6'6" on it. Bobby Lashley is a tall dude.
Yeah,
So
I couldn't go through my entire life. Just imagine like you always are looking at the top of vending machines, refrigerators.
That's all you see.
there's a lot of
Random
customers.
places that never get cleaned. That I would just have the urge to constantly pledge everything.
Think about
as
how
I
often.
went past.
Think about how often you just bang your head on things. Like
And
nothing.
imagine being a poor commoner, just a regular human that doesn't go on to do great things to afford giant custom built mansion doors.
Yeah.
Like if you come to my house, I just have normal human doors.
Omaz would
gonna
not
be an
fit in my
issue.
house. He couldn't get in my. He could not get it. He'd bump his head on like the ceilings. It just wouldn't work. I only have like 7-foot ceilings. It wouldn't work. It was. So that was cool. I mean, yeah, a lot of segments. Kevin Owens cut a great promo, but it was like we got.
Oh man,
Derek.
Here we go.
Derek was so
that
sad.
was so disappointing.
He was
so sad, man.
Yeah.
I kept hitting Walton like, here it comes. It's coming. He's coming.
And I kept saying, nah, man, it's not happening.
It's telling you it's going to happen.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
Man, how good was his promo? He's like, that's just Steve.
Yeah, it was great.
That's just Steve. And by Austin not being there, I mean, I really think he proved his point that it's just Steve.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was moved by that promo. So I really liked that.
So I'm glad you liked it. But how about the big news about that? That is now the WrestleMania Saturday main event is the KO show featuring Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's not what Ronda Rousey said.
It's going to outbill Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair.
Well,
I don't care how much Ronda thinks of herself. She doesn't top Steve Austin.
You can't
not in this business.
You can't follow Steve Austin. You just can't. It's not a thing that's happened in 30 years nobody's followed Steve Austin. It's not a thing you want to do. It's like following Metallica. I mean, even as old
Jim
as
Brewer.
as old as Metallica is right now, do you want to follow Metallica? Good God, poor Ozzy Osbourne still has nightmares about having to follow Metallica because he brought him on tour with him when they were touring on Master of Puppets, and he's touring on whatever one of those 80s albums with Jake Ely, Bark at the Moon, and they're touring on one of the greatest albums of all time, and he's touring on probably what's one of his weaker albums. Truth be told, we're talking about Ozzy, and he's like, I gotta follow these guys every night. There's 40 dates on this tour. What am I gonna do?
I guarantee you the tour manager was fired after that.
Oh, never again.
There's something special about a Metallica show. I will say that.
We're going. I'm going. It's gonna be.
I want to, but man, I'm gonna have a hard time justifying dropping that kind of cheese right now.
It was 200.
What kind of cheese does it require to attend?
225 beans a ticket, and that's not even for super good.
That's just getting the door, basically.
That's probably the equivalent of PNC Park where we were for Raw.
Damn.
Yeah. No, I mean, we're not up that high. Are we on the first level or the second level? I can't remember. We're low-ish, but we're nowhere near the field. There'll be people on the field.
Mm-hmm.
We're nowhere near. We're not near the field. We're closer to concession. We're closer to the concert there. We're closer to the concession stands than we are to the field. I don't know that there'll be a bad spot though, because they'll probably just put a big stage in the middle of the ring and play in the round. So
no, what they did whenever the couple I've been there is they put it right in front of where the landscaping is with the shrubs that say Pirates. They put the stage right there at the outfield wall. And
then I'm 30 miles away then.
And then the bleacher seats are where they do all their sound staging and stuff.
Okay, well I'm 30 miles away then. If they're not gonna play in the round, I'm 30 miles away.
I mean, Metallica is notorious for playing in the round, so
yeah, I know. That's why I'm thinking they're playing in the round because they're Metallica.
It'd be way cooler if they did. I mean,
I hope they do, and I want to see Ice Nine Kills too because I love me some Ice Nine Kills. So that'll be good. I'm meh on Greta Van Fleet, but it's fine. I don't not want to see them. So
yeah, but it comes with the price of admission, Pop.
Yeah, I would never go out of my way to buy a ticket for them. But
I didn't pay money to see them, but they'll be there.
Yeah.
And
they'll get paid because they'll get paid.
I could hear them from the parking lot and be all right with it.
Now I paid too much for the tickets to hear anything from the parking lot.
That's true. Yeah. All right. I'll give you that. Yep, for sure.
I wish we could say the same thing about Monday night, though.
Hey, we only paid $35 for them tickets. Those weren't too bad.
Tell me say it again for the people up top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Derek, man, like, you know, I know you were disappointed coming out of it. No Stone Cold, you know, no Cody. Hey, man, what's WrestleMania, you know, go home Monday Night Raw look like for you?
Well, actually, guys, I'd been thinking about this, and it was something I wanted to bring up on the show. I know we'd been speaking about that. Now, obviously, they are considered premium live events, and I'm kind of wondering if that's kind of factored into their thinking about this whole situation, as far as our go-home shows no longer need to be, I'm going to sell you on a $50, $60 pay-per-view event that you need to go out of your way to purchase. Instead, you already have Peacock. Most humans, especially, you know, the coming up younger generations, are going to have multiple streaming platforms available to them at this point.
Well, Peacock has The Office too, so, you know, you'll tune in. Oh, I get the same thing I watch The Office on. Even if you only watch one wrestling pay-per-view a year, I could watch WrestleMania on the same app I watch The Office on. Cool.
Yeah, so I'm kind of actually thinking that seriously does factor into it at this point. That they just don't. There was no incentive for them to give a big go home Raw at this point. You know, because no one's going to go out of their way to buy it, other than the 6 people that still actually spend the $50 on their cable company to purchase it through the box. But yeah, definitely a disappointment. And like we'd already discussed, the card that we were shown as advertised was going to be amazing. Like, I was pumped for this card. We got no Alpha Academy. We got no Street Profits, other than right at the end. Yeah, like there was just so much.
Yeah, not getting any Alpha Academy. I wanted to see Alpha Academy. That was like,
I really did. That was one of my points of wanting to go for sure.
Yeah, because seeing Omos in live is like, I want to see how big Otis, because I've never seen Otis live either. I want to see how big this is.
That would have been nice,
right? It would have been because I've seen Randy Orton like every time I've ever been to Raw or SmackDown.
Like, I say, you ever been to a WWE event? You've seen Randy Orton.
Love Randy Orton. Randy Orton is
so much fun to watch him.
Look,
in the ring.
I'm happy to buy tickets to go see Randy Orton. That's not a problem. Truthfully, I mean, that was the main event far and away. My opinion on it. Sorry, not to cut you off, but Derek, you done?
Proceed.
Okay.
No,
my opinion on it, I will put it in this regard. Derek, you called me later and was like, "So do we want to go in August?" My immediate thought when you said that, when I read that, because I just went to bed. I don't bring my phone into the bedroom. I plug it in my office. It lives over here.
Yeah, and I kind of assumed that's what you did. That's why I texted was like, "Hey, man, my bad. I didn't want to
No,
you
can't wake me. You can't call me and wake me up. It's not humanly possible. My phone's not near me. You can't do it. So I will never be mad at you for trying. It's really.
God, don't tell him that.
Shit, it's on now.
try once. You can try once. I'll call you back. Anyway,
Thompson wake up to 15 missed calls.
Anyway, so my immediate thought when I read your message was, I would rather shit in my hands and clap than go to Raw and sit through Raw again in August. Because I mean, like it's so we went to AEW and we're gonna go to AEW here next month, right?
Yep.
420.
Yep.
And you know, we went there and it was really a live show, right? Like the matches go through commercial breaks. You know, nobody's going to get a pinfall or anything, but you see the matches happen.
That's happened once.
That's true, but it didn't happen while we were there. It's probably not going to happen again. It was likely a mistake, but anyway, you know, it goes through. Justin Roberts, if there is a commercial break and something isn't happening, Justin Roberts is really good about, all right, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. He keeps you invested. Now, we can tell when it's a commercial break because everything goes dark and you just see crap on it's like, oh, we're watching commercials, so it must be a commercial break.
Literally, you also watch commercials.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, so okay, well, that's fine. And they're like, hey, buy this Yinzer shirt at WWE Shop, which was sold out like by 8:30.
Yeah, Derek tried to go get one.
It was sold out by 8:30. Like Adam and I walked past and like they only had like smalls, and I'm like, well, we're up real high, you know. maybe we'll see if we can get it online and go pick it up. And no, online was like sold out. I'm like, fuck, really?
I went through quite the adventure to try to get me one of those.
You sure did.
Yeah, I sure did.
I sat in our seats for 40 minutes by myself, listening to this annoying 12-year-old trying to pick up this 16-year-old girl.
Oh, did he succeed?
No.
Darn. That would have been that would have been the feel good story of the night. But
it was painful.
But I mean, I think the contrast is really that like WWE puts on a TV show, and AEW puts on a live show that they put on television. And I will happily spend my money to go watch AEW live, but as far as watching WWE live, maybe next year we'll go to a Raw. I'm not going to be ready to go in August. I mean, maybe I will.
Let's try SmackDown.
Maybe a SmackDown. I mean, I feel like only Raw ever comes to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So like we never get a SmackDown. Like we get Raw. We get multiple Raws a year. Like
listening to 4
year.
Listening to McAfee, they kind of tend to do the like more intimate arenas for SmackDown.
I mean, I guess that's fine. You know, they could pump out. I mean, our tickets were what, $19.99 plus fees, right? So I mean, you know, they could sell a ton of $20 tickets to Raw, and that's fine. And you know what? I'm not upset with what I paid for it, because you know what? I still had a great night. It was great to hang out with you guys. It was fantastic. I mean, I can't say that like I didn't have a good time. I certainly did. That was my fault though, that I had a good time. It wasn't WWE didn't force that. Where I feel like with AEW, it was like, you know, it was one of those things where it's like you go and like they make you they're like, this is a good you're going to see a good show. Like with WWE, I had a good time because we set up a good night, right? Yes. As friends, to see our friends, but so you know, I think I think you just have to approach it in that sort of kind of way, which kind of sucks though, because Raw has really been like bangers, like lots of banger shows. We just somehow managed to get the one. It's hard to call it a dud, but like we sort of just got the like storyline, like, hey, you're here. We're going to explain what's happening this week because it's a big week. And there's lots of wrestling coming this weekend. So we're just going to talk to you and tell you why and progress the storyline. So it's like, maybe we need to be a little more picky and choosy to like just go to random Raws that are like, maybe August will be a better show.
Yeah, maybe.
I
think that's the come out from SummerSlam.
I'm not going to feel compelled to go to that then.
I feel like the next time we go to a Raw, we pick the shittiest card we can find, and it'll be amazing because it obviously won't be as advertised.
Switch it that day.
I actually do have one really cool story about going to the show. Whenever I went on my little adventure to try to find a Yinzer 316 shirt.
Oh, here we go.
No, this isn't bad. It's quick. As both of you guys know,
Derek's adventures in buying wrestling gear is like some of the funniest shit that's ever happened.
no, this isn't that terrible.
He's like, hey man, I'm gonna go see if I can snap one of them shirts. You want a beer? I'm like, yeah, man. I was like, Roman Reigns is getting ready to come out, and like,
you miss Roman?
No,
yeah,
I watched 4 minutes from a dark area of the arena.
This is me setting you up for your story.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Go on then. Set up.
You already fucked it up. Just tell your story.
Yeah. Well. I watched Roman from a dark area of the arena through the black curtain there. I just kind of popped my head in, walked in there, and found this sweet old lady security guard playing Candy Crush on her phone. Nice. And just hung out with her for that segment, which was nice, and thanked her for not yelling at me and letting me hang out with her. But anyway, the story I did want to tell you guys is, as you both know, I wore my Dr. Britt Baker shirt to the show.
Great shirt. That kind of wish I had one now.
From the Thunder Rosa match, where she's a bloody mess. The original Thunder Rosa match, of course. So I go up to the merch table, and I'm greeted by a gentleman in very WWE gear. He's definitely some sort of WWE personnel.
He works the table. He's a table guy.
No, this guy was like almost referee-ish. He looked like very jacked, very formal shirt on, slacks and everything. It was odd to find him there. Very well put together and everything. And he actually said, "Hey man, great shirt." And I looked down and I was like, oh shit. Because we'd already discussed on our way to the show, I wore a jacket and zipped it up on my way in just in case, because you never know how they're going to treat you about this type of thing.
I don't think there's any animosity with that, but go on.
There's absolutely not, actually, which is what completely surprised me, because I said, hey, thank you. And I'll be honest with you, bud, I was worried about wearing this here. I zipped my jacket up on the way in because I didn't want you guys to kick me out. And he said, hey, bud, it's all wrestling. We're just here because we love wrestling. And how about she's a Pittsburgh original, so it's fine.
Yeah.
That was really heartwarming for me. I was so surprised. Because you hear some horror stories about, people wearing shirts from rival promotions, especially a rival promotion that's actually nearing, not on the same level, but nearing the same level week by week. And yeah, I got no harsh comments, no sideways looks. No, get the hell out of here. No, we don't have any of those shirts here. Really appreciative of Britt Baker, apparently. And it just surprised the hell out of me, fellas. I definitely did not expect that to happen.
I think this is actually a good segue into another topic, because I sent you guys earlier. Seth Rollins was on a podcast. Sorry, Walt, I don't want to steal your thunder. Is this on the list? All right. So Seth Rollins recently was on a podcast, and they had asked him about bringing up John Moxley, and he called him John Moxley when they were talking. It was him and Roman going into whatever was it Fastlane? Royal Rumble, right. So it was him and Roman going into Royal Rumble, and they asked him about you brought up John Moxley, and he's like, yeah, he's part of our legacy. Like, it's not just me versus Roman. That's the three of us are linked. There's no Seth Rollins without Dean Ambrose or John Moxley, which is what he's called now. And there's no Roman Reigns without John Moxley, and there's no Roman Reigns without Seth Rollins. So I brought it up in that respect. I love the guy. I still talk to him, and AEW. What is Seth? Seth said something to the tune of AEW is not on our level yet, but we like it. We watch it. It's yeah. And the other thing that they brought up on the podcast too, if you listen to it. The article I sent kind of made it seem like Seth brought it up on his own, but they asked him about what AEW taking pot shots at WWE.
And we talk about that an awful lot here.
Right. And he said it. He said that he doesn't feel the need to take pot shots at them. It feels a little lowbrow. They're not on the same level yet, but it's good. And they watch it and he likes it. And just his opinion is it seems kind of lowbrow to take pot shots at something that's not taking pot shots at you. But that was sort of the whole scheme of it. And to me, when I listened to it, it really came off as a very genuine, like, look, man, I like it, but I love what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is next level. And he believes that what he's doing is next level.
And he should.
And he should. Because, I mean, I don't feel like he got a really good shake on Raw necessarily. I mean, maybe he did after the fact and he put on probably what was the match of the night, because he's literally – one of the best pro wrestlers period that's ever existed. Right. We're going to go out. I mean, as he should, that's fine. Look.
Yeah. But he sits in here week after week, Tom, and he just destroys Seth Rollins. He can't fucking stand
I trash that, man. I trash him like he kicked my fucking dog.
He came out and this motherfucker was.
I was about it.
I really like the gimmick. So I rewatched the Vince McMahon segment too, where he jumps up on the desk and serve it on the I'm like, man, that's just like he's in it. He's into it. And he's you could tell he loves it. And love it or hate it. Some people think it's the dumbest thing ever. And you know what, that's fine. But I think it's good. And I think it sort of evolves week to week. He was playing the Joker. Like the Batman Joker, almost like a combination of like the Joker and the Riddler going up to Roman Reigns. And now I don't really know what he is now. Some kind of funny laughing guy. But
he kind of reminds me of Joker that Joaquin Phoenix played, to be honest with you. I feel like there's a lot of that pulled from him.
A little, yeah, like unhinged, insane.
Just his mannerisms and how his body's very fluid all the time. I like it. And I really feel like that Monday night show sold me on it. Like I've talked a lot of shit, but
I've loved the suits. This isn't my favorite incarnation of this character. It's falling off a bit for me. I think I preferred it when it was a little bit darker. Monday Night Messiah, I thought was probably the pinnacle of it, like especially like when he was fighting Buddy Murphy about stuff. But anyway, that not to beat a dead horse, but I thought that was a nice transition. But what else we got here on the old list?
So, speaking of Seth Rollins, I'm sure you gentlemen heard the rumor that WWE appears to be bringing Shane O'Mac back for WrestleMania.
I mean, that was the original plan, right? Was Rollins versus Shano. Was it not?
So, I believe that it was.
Yeah.
So that leads me into this next thing, right? That kind of really puts a little bit of the kibosh on some of this Cody talk.
Does that mean there's no Cody? Or does Seth
or is this a swerve, bro?
Mhm.
I mean, it could be a double swerve. I mean, we might get Shane first and be very disappointed, and Seth might put Shane down real fast, which I think I think that would really speak to the character. Like Shane comes in, does a couple Shane O'Mac things, tries to go coast to coast. Seth gets out of the way. Shane gets a stomp real quick, gets pinned. Rollins pops up. What?
Right.
And is like, but then that was just the warm up. Then Vince comes back out. That was just your warm up, pal. Here's your real match. And then they have Cody come out and do it that way.
Only royal family.
Wrestling, because they have the rights to the music, do they not? Because Cody owns the rights to that music,
right? I'm assuming be Cody Rhodes again, even though he
absolutely
could have used it previously. Which
I read that same article this week too, Derek. Right, and they said that he could have rightfully used Rhodes all along, but because of his dad, there was some. And them having like all these Dusty Rhodes trademarks, there was some sort of, litigation that needed to happen about Cody using the Rhodes name. So just while all that was getting figured out, but I bring that up. This whole thing with Cody though, man, it's like, are we getting fucking worked?
No, he's coming. I don't know that he's coming for WrestleMania though. I think that it might be the Raw after WrestleMania. I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked if he's not on WrestleMania. I would not be shocked if he was a surprise the day after WrestleMania. I think that look, I'm not watching shows to see Cody. I'm really not.
No,
I gotta be. I'm not. I just like. I'm interested in the whole thing because he is the first major defection,
absolutely.
Right? I mean,
yes. Yep.
The first major, that's a big deal. He's not quite Hall and Nash defection, RIP Scott Hall, but I mean, in this whole sort of muted, sort of similar, but it's muted, but it's similar, right? I mean, it's not as
similar, man, because like if you think about it, like Diesel had already dropped the world championship, and Razor wasn't the Razor that he was in that feud with Goldust, and that he didn't really want to be in, and like you play that back now and you see that he's just like kind of like EC3, when we talked about that, from his first day in WWE on the main roster to his last, because there's that little video package, right? Just kind of going through the motions, but I think the most intriguing thing that I saw about Cody Rhodes this week was the fact that there's two high-level executives that are telling Vince McMahon that, they need to book Cody as the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, just as he appeared on AEW.
Absolutely.
Don't fucking change a thing.
No. I think
so glad that conversation's being had.
Yeah, I think that's important.
It's going to be really interesting to see how much of his AEW time they're going to acknowledge existed in the WWE universe.
Yes.
I truthfully, I think, rest in peace, Scott Hall. I think with Scott Hall's death, I think there's a callback, right? I think that Cody comes out and he starts whatever promo that he comes out with. No, I don't think he starts at. I don't think he starts at "Hey yo."
You know who I am.
You know who I am.
Why I'm here?
Exactly. He starts at you know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here. And I think that's I think we get that the Raw after WrestleMania. I don't think Cody shows up and wrestles at WrestleMania. In fact, at this point, I would put money on it because if it was going to happen, I feel like it would have happened on Monday. And I don't think it happens now. And I think we get Seth versus Shane. And I don't
Here
think
comes
we
the
get...
money.
I think Shane jobs to Omos and we get American Nightmare.
I mean, but
I would love
Lashley's in that spot.
Yeah, I would love for Shane to job to Omos. I think that would be. Can we book that?
Hey,
Can
boy,
we book?
I need you to go out there and just lay down.
Too bad it's not closer to Royal Rumble, and we could have Stardust, and then we could have the American Nightmare, and then we could have the where he was the super pretty, like don't touch me with the face
Dashing
mask.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes.
Dashing
Yes,
Cody
there we go.
Rhodes,
Dashing. Yeah. We can get
Look,
Ted DiBiase
Carmel-
Jr. out of jail. He can come out.
Carmella's already got that
Carmella's
gimmick.
got that gimmick.
That's Carmella's
That's
gimmick.
true. That's
right
true.
now.
Yeah.
Carmella's
Way to
gimmick
steal
is
that from
Dashing
Cody.
Rhodes. She totally did.
Yeah.
That's a well. I'm sure that was a Bruce Pritchard. I'm sure that's a Bruce Pritchard back pocket thing there.
Hey, you know what the most exciting part?
Because Sheamus also did the nose broken mask thing that Cody Rhodes did. Anyway.
But do you know what the most exciting part about Monday Night Raw was, Tom? Where
Eating
Derek and I were situated, we could see into Gorilla.
Yeah, you texted me the worst picture I've ever.
Oh, because it was terrible.
Like you texted me a picture that looked like it was taken on a Motorola Razr from 2004.
So I don't know if you're aware, but that is the current state of my cellular device. So yeah,
Walt's a peasant. And he only has 2 camera lenses on his phone.
well, that's because
I only have 1. No, I have 3. I'm wrong.
Derek over here with his iPhone 13 Pro Max Plus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know,
I have to carry a man bag to fucking get it around.
So I mean that's different than any other day. How you've been carrying a
My
merch for
phone
years.
is bigger than I am.
Keep your never mind.
It actually comes with a stand so that I can use it to talk on the phone. That's why I hate talking on the phone.
I mean,
You talk
I
on the
don't- I don't-
phone.
do you even carry your phone? Like I text you like 6 hours ago and you still haven't answered.
I saw it on my iPad. I did. I was in the bedroom and saw that on my iPad. It came through, and I wasn't going to call you out on that. We'll talk about that later. Because motherfucker says he's at work.
I was working.
Oh yeah, you working hard.
No, I was having a meeting. I
Okay.
was having a meeting.
Oh, yeah.
So I had a meeting down at the smoke shop. I was smoking a cigar. Hey man, I get to write that experience off.
Work is tough, man. God, I hate
You know what I'm saying?
work.
Can I say that I love your work? I love it so much.
Thanks,
You're
Bob.
my
I appreciate it.
you're my favorite. You of all my friends, you have my favorite job.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
I love it when you have take your friends to work day.
I love
It's always
that
a good
too.
time.
That was the best time.
Well, I'm glad you guys had a good time.
Yeah.
Staff likes when you guys come in too.
I know they have to.
So we were texting.
We just leave 20s down. Like we just like throw down 20s. Like I don't know what is happening, but here's $20. They
So-
just must leave and be like, we had a great night because there's like 4 of us there.
So I text Tom. I'm like, hey, once you get there, just let them know I'm coming to join you. He was like, oh yeah, they already knew it was me and asked if you were coming. So like that's a thing. So big ups to 293. Hey,
I walked up and they go, Tom, why are you here? And I was like, Walt's coming. Walt's coming.
Everybody
He said I could order whatever I want. Just
Everybody
put it
went
on
into
the-
panic mode,
Swipe
too.
the card. It's
I
fine.
was like, and I said that and like people ducked and I'm like, what the why? They're like they're legitimately
I tell you what, Adam.
they're legitimately afraid of you. And I'm like, not that like it's not hi, whoever's at Walt's house. Hi.
I was going to say that Adam is a brave man for going to the bathroom. Announced that he was going to the restroom while we were there. I thought for sure the saddle was going to get brought out. There was going to be some hoots and hollers, and we were all going to be very excited for him to come out of there.
No, we actually
I know that.
So we actually don't pick on Adam. Adam's actually our nice friend. He's the one guy. Like, so when it was like Adam got hit, I went, Adam got hit.
Yeah, we're done. We're
okay.
done.
We are done. That's fine. Moving on. Anyway, rolling on.
Yeah.
Did you
So
just get a sandwich?
yeah, I did just get a sandwich. So today at Jersey Mike's, okay, nationwide, they're donating 100% of their sales to Special Olympics. So we made sure that we participated today to support Special Olympics.
Crap, I
should have worn my shirt today. I didn't realize it was
ordered Jersey Mike's.
So that's pretty cool. So we made sure we partook.
I
cool.
didn't know that. I wish you had told me.
So hey, you want to talk about WrestleMania? Guess who's not going to be at WrestleMania?
Bailey?
Triple H.
Yeah.
Hey man, I think that like we kind of knew like the writing was on the wall, right? Like you kind of don't, but I think it's a lot different to hear it. And man, if you want to look back and you want to talk about a great career that should have never been, right?
14-time world champ.
It's hard to deny that Triple H is not one of the greatest performers of our generation.
Oh my God! I mean, I can't say all of it's a hit.
No,
but
yeah,
I mean,
feel like his career should have been blown up.
Promos.
Yeah.
So I two things about Triple H. I love Triple H. Triple H is one of my favorites of all time. As a matter of fact, when I was a kid, this is thing one. When I was a kid, so my father took me to Raw during the middle of the Attitude Era. My dad dropped $200 a ticket, in the 90s. We sat on the floor. We were about 4 or 5 rows back. But we sat in like the steel chairs. Saw everything up close and personal. Of all the shirts, my dad's like, you can have whatever shirt you want, bud. Whatever shirt you want. Of all the shirts, I bought a Triple H shirt. And it was the big one. It was right after he had gone, and it was the original with the big H and the 2 little H's with the green around it. And
yeah, it's kind of like when he went rogue.
Right. When he went rogue, when he wasn't so much DX, because I had the official DX shirt. Can you imagine being a 12-year-old now, like having your shirt that said suck it on the back on the back of it, right? And I wore that to school.
With a lot.
I wore that to school in middle school. I wore a shirt that said suck it to middle school. Like, come on. Like, what the hell? Anyway, I wouldn't let my son wear that to school. But that was the shirt I chose to buy. And man, I mean, he didn't disappoint because technically he was still in DX at the time. I saw the New Age Outlaws that night because they were my other favorites, right? It was between that and the New Age Outlaws.
No,
I love the Road Dogg. Loved the Road Dogg. That was like he was my other dude. So it was like Triple H, The Rock, and Road Dogg for me at that point in time when I'm like 12, 13. Those were my dudes. It was like because I felt like being like a Stone Cold guy was like being a mark, right? And it's like, yeah, I like Stone Cold. And I want to see him, whatever he's going to do to Mr. McMahon. But it's like these other guys. These other guys, like, they get me. They're like the people's people, right? And it's like, The Rock, too, also at the same time. I got a Rock shirt, too, with the big blue Brahma bull on it. I like that, too. But at the show, I wanted the Triple H shirt. And, man, Triple H came out, did the my time. It was that one. It was the my time. My time is coming. Yeah, that one. It was the pre Motorhead entrance music. So, I mean, it was like to me that was pinnacle Triple H, right? And I gotta say that like it's to see everything that the man has done for the last 30 years. No, what am I now? 25 years. We'll go 25. 25 years. To see the man for the last 25 years and what he's done I mean, I know his role it's been more than 30, but for 25 years he was a top guy. And to be a top guy for 25 years, and then to not only be a top guy, but be a top guy whenever you want to be a top guy, and be an executive and be beloved. I know the guy was sort of like known for a while as kind of a dick backstage, kind of a bastard, holding on to his spot.
Very much a politician. Let's say
very,
that.
very much a politician, kind of a guy that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, but at the same time, got a lot of people over too. I feel like his threshold for, whether or not you were good enough, like he was the end game boss to whether or not you were good enough.
He was the end game boss.
You had to he had to believe you were good enough to let him beat you. And, I think that's why guys like CM Punk don't like him, because he maybe didn't believe they were good enough. And, whatever their personal issues are have nothing to do with me. But, having watched him, go from sort of the end game boss of WWE to, the father figure of NXT was really sort of heartwarming. And I always really thought of him as sort of kind of a nice guy anyway. Like I had met him at a meet and greet kind of a thing. When he was still in DX, right? And this was maybe why I was a fan, because like my dad used to take me to those Pittsburgh Comic-Con things, like before they were like $40 to get in. Like we would go and we would hang out, and I'm like, I'm just a little guy, and we'd go and like my father, man, God love my dad. He would wait in line for me for whatever stupid bullshit I want to wait in line for. Dad, I want to meet this guy. All right, bud, whatever you want. And my dad would hand that man $20, and I'd get a picture or whatever. Like that was my father. All right, bud, whatever you want. This is before, so he wasn't even like playing on his cell phone. He was like standing there. We talk about it. He was this is why I am who I am. But anyway, so you meet him. He doesn't spend a lot of time with you. This is the one thing, like, I've met a lot of other wrestlers. Like, I didn't spend a lot of time with Triple H. Shook my hand, said, hey, man, you're one of my favorites, man. I really appreciate it. I really like you. He says, well, I really appreciate that. Shook my hand, gave me a little fist bump. On my way, I mean, we waited in line for 45 minutes to meet him. He can't spend 20 minutes talking to me. No. But, he fist bumps me. I'm on my way. But it was great. Right. I mean, and you meet these guys and, they say don't meet your heroes. But I mean, I can say with all honesty, you can meet your wrestling heroes, because for the most part, they're going to be cool to you. And as far as Triple H's career is concerned, what a cool guy. I couldn't be happier of my decision to be a Triple H fan as a 12 or 13-year-old kid. I feel like seeing what I've seen now, knowing what I know, I made the right decision as a 12-year-old. And I feel like that's more of a testament to me than anything else. But no, Triple H, hell of a wrestler, hell of a guy. I hope that he stays happy and healthy. I hope he stays involved in the business. I don't need to see him wrestle anymore. I've seen all the matches for 30 years. I think that's plenty. And I hope he continues to influence the business in the positive way that he has influenced it for the last, 15 years or so. We'll go from there. But what a guy, what a career. And I'm happy to see him retire, and I can't wait to see him inducted into the Hall of Fame next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Derek, when I said that he was one of the greatest performers of our generation, you kind of shook your head. What's your beef, bud?
Well, it's not so much beef. It's just kind of, I feel like some of his earlier works are very flowered over at this point, almost like, in the
they're mid-card.
In the late 90s and the early 2000s, later 2000s, he was fantastic. But the
DX stuff is amazing, dude. I wore a shirt in middle school that said "Suck It" on the back because of him.
Yeah, same. I did as well.
Okay,
that was my go-to insult. was,
And you didn't.
I don't know,
You didn't
man.
do it.
I just
You didn't do it like this. You didn't do it like this. You did it like this.
no. That's what threw me off at Monday Night Raw. I did it like this, but everybody there was doing it like this.
That's how you do it, man.
I guess I just wanted somebody to suck my cock. I don't know. Like,
well,
I was into girls and I wasn't there yet. I don't know. Actually, what I was going to bring up about the whole thing, fellas.
I gotta leave now.
Let's get off of this subject real quick. So we actually announced this though, and Walt, I'm sorry if this was part of your spiel here coming up, but
at least
he did it through Stephen A. Smith, which is obviously ESPN, which I find interesting, and I'm curious if that was an intentional move on their part as far as being sports entertainment, and they wanted to kind of legitimize themselves a little more to the actual sports world. Because what other reason would you have to go through Stephen A. Smith, who is obviously a prominent sports reporter, legitimate sports reporter, and not go through? I'm not asking you to go through Dave Meltzer, but there's plenty of other wrestling outlets, specific wrestling outlets, that you could have made this announcement on and
like
did an interview with.
SRS has a podcast, like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like SRS would have been.
That's not the same, though. Stephen A. Smith is going to talk about it. You go talk to Stephen A. Smith, right?
When's the last time you saw some Raw highlights on ESPN Top 10?
You don't.
But you also see a lot of, like, WWE personalities coming through ESPN, right? Yeah. And, like, I'm glad to see that, like, their relationships kind of healed, because I know that there was some animosity after, they did not give the streaming rights to ESPN for the WWE network, because that was a thing in the fallout. ESPN was pissed off and pulled a bunch of WWE talent off of upcoming shows and whatnot. So to see, like, them kind of starting to smooth this over a little bit is a good thing, I think, in the long run, especially exposure wise for WWE. But I do really feel like it's an interesting choice going to Stephen A., right? But Tom, you said it, like, you're going to talk to Stephen A. Smith. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what you're there to do. And that's an experience in and of itself. So maybe, like, that wasn't the plan, was to go live with it. But I mean, it would have had to have been. It was his first appearance since everything happened.
I mean, I think that was truthfully, I mean, the man's probably been just recovering. Like, you don't go through like a major cardiac event like that. And I can say it in WWE terms, because it's not like he had heart attacks. It was heart failure, which is a major cardiac event. You don't want to say heart failure necessarily on the internet to be like, oh my God, Triple H is dead. It's dead. He's dying. Like that's a panic. Like that's a panic thing, right? But you don't want to go through like a heart failure like that and then go in and talk to just, let me talk to Sean Ross Sapp about it. Like, no, you wait and you talk, you either keep it private or, when it's appropriate, you talk about it on a WWE thing if there's not something that comes up. But like, if ESPN and Stephen A. Smith particularly, not necessarily ESPN, like Stephen A. Smith is sort of his own entity of what is appropriate. I mean, he's like the sports interviewer, right? He's the guy. So
absolutely.
You get the chance to it's like we could do a WWE special on it, or you could talk to Stephen A. Smith, because ESPN is certainly interested and has a relationship, I'm sure, with Triple H. At that point you talk to Stephen A. Smith, and I think it reaches more ears, it hits more people, especially going into it. I hate to put this as a promo thing, because a man's life was a great man's life was up in the air for a hot minute, and that sucks. Like that's
but we're well past that though. I mean,
but we are.
He's stable, and there's no worries now.
He's fine, and he's back to work now.
I feel like it's very much a business decision.
You're right. And at this point, it's a business decision. And going into WrestleMania weekend, which ESPN knows, look, WrestleMania, eyes are on the WWE. Period. We're 30, what are we, 38? 38. 7. 8. 8, yes.
8.
Older than me. WrestleMania is older than we are.
Yes, it is.
Older than we are. And going to WrestleMania 38, ESPN wants to talk to WWE, and if they can get the scoop on the CFO,
yeah,
let's talk to him. And truthfully, he's the guy you want to talk to, right? Like, you're not going to get to talk to Vince.
No,
you don't want to really talk to Stephanie, probably. You want to talk to Triple H. He's the guy who could talk to you. He's the father figure at this point. And I think he gave a great interview, and he was very open about it. He made me choke up a little bit. He's, I got 3 little girls at home, and it's like, we're fathers of little girls as well. I mean, I have a son too. We all, Walt, you have a son too. But like, we're fathers as well. And it's like, as a father, we can relate, we want to be there for our children. And so to have that sort of like, connection, but at the same time, like that big platform, I think that's important. And, they did that, and it's WrestleMania weekend. It's a business decision as well. Yeah. But, I'm glad to hear that he's healthy. I'm so glad he's back. Right. Like, that's my, I think that's the point to drive home. I am so glad he's back, because this man knows the business. Wrestling is better because of Paul Levesque, right? Wrestling is better because, like, I can't say that about The Rock. I can't say that about Stone Cold. Like, they're main event guys, but is wrestling better because of them? Does wrestling continue to get better because of them? I don't know. They're not on necessarily that level. Like, they were great personally.
Yeah, you'd have to confront them with kind of a different question as far as, would I watch wrestling at this point in my life if they did not exist? Because during my childhood, that was...
Well, I mean, I think I still would. But at the same time, like, Paul Levesque has made wrestling better for his lifetime, in the same way that Vince McMahon has, in the same way that Paul Heyman has, in the same way that, a lot of guys, maybe not, like Paul Heyman sort of to a lesser extent, but like, there's like those guys. No? Okay. But like, there's those guys that like have put their own mark on wrestling because they've put themselves out there, not only as performers, but as like, bookers, guys who have pushed for things, guys who have played the politics game in addition to. And I think Paul Levesque is probably the best example of those kind of guys. And so, glad Triple H is back. Glad he's healthy. Can't wait to see him inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Next year.
Enjoy retirement. Love him. Love. Yeah. Only love for me.
Tom, you said it great there, man. I don't think anybody can top that. That was actually wonderful.
It's all love, right? I mean, it's all love. That's where it is. Like, love the man. Go ahead. Where do we go next? Let's end this love fest. What we got next?
So it's interesting that you bring up the Hall of Fame, because we got some new inductees this year.
Oh my God! Yes, brothers. We do.
Yeah, very exciting.
What's going to happen when
Queen Sharmell was added last week, and nobody really seemed to care or discuss.
No, that's good.
That's fine. She's deserving.
It's Booker T's wife. She'll be inducted by Booker T. Good stuff.
Great addition.
So the Steiners, though, whoo, absolutely. Let's talk about it.
Oh my God, I can't believe they're going to give Scott a hot mic. Can't wait.
Well, they have a little one up on Scott, though. Does he accept the Hall of Fame nomination? And does he actually come and make an appearance and not say some hot mic bullshit if his son is not currently the hottest thing in NXT at this point?
It's Rick's son.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Rick's son. I'm sorry.
Scott,
yeah, Rick.
Scott doesn't have children.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Scott. I'm saying Rick's the one that had the problem. I apologize.
No. Scott had the problem.
Scott had the problem.
Rick's been a WWE.
Rick's been an accountant.
Yeah.
All right, I'm shutting the fuck up. I'm moving off of this, and you guys proceed.
All right. So I can't wait till they give Scott Steiner a hot mic. I really can't. I'm watching just like this is like of all the things that are happening WrestleMania weekend. This is must see TV. Scott Steiner with a hot. What is Scott Steiner gonna say with a hot mic? Now I know it's pre-taped, and
no,
it's not.
Not
so
this
it's
year,
live.
It's gonna be live after SmackDown.
Okay, guess I'm staying up late on Friday. I might not even watch SmackDown. I might just like drink a bunch of coffee and like stay up to be like. Because this is gonna be crazy. Like they're gonna give Scott.
At least
Steiner,
that's the impression that I'm under because that's how they're selling the ticket. Is that it's a doubleheader?
They're gonna give Scott Steiner a hot mic
on live TV,
on live television,
and not like national television, but like WWE television, like because that's gonna go to the cock.
I didn't know that I would live to see the day, but
the big booty daddy with a hot mic. Holler if you hear me.
Holla if you hear me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. Look, if that's the main event of WrestleMania weekend, regardless of whether the rest of us think so or not. In all seriousness, though, I think it's going to be fine. I think that Scott is a much older man now.
Yeah.
He had a similar cardiac event, and he has recovered from it as well. However, his dearly beloved nephew is a top guy and is being treated very well by the WWE. Rick has always been Rick Scott's brother. Who I
by the way, woo. I saw a Twitter handle change today. His Twitter name is now Bronson Steiner. So tell me that's not a WWE prep right there.
Oh, for sure. He's coming back as Bronson Steiner. They'll probably call him Braun Steiner, but yeah. I think
so. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no, I think
Bronson, if I'm given the option. Honestly. From the fan standpoint, I like the full, it's kind of a fuller name. I do like that. Bronson Steiner.
I mean, he's really the truth be told, he's really the next big thing. And he is, man, he's good. He's every bit the talker, but less drunk than his uncle. He's every bit the professional that his father was. Man, everything he does is snappy. But as far as the Hall of Fame is concerned, no, the Steiners are absolutely like good God, like when they were like, oh, maybe the Steiners. I'm like, the Steiners are not in the Hall of Fame at this point. Like these guys are like they were growing up. Like maybe it's me because growing up, like the Steiners were sort of like. When I started watching wrestling as like a first grader, that was that's when they were hot, right? Hot. And then to watch them as a tag team, to watch them break up in WCW, Scott go on to his own thing with the NWO, Scott Steiner as well, but then they kind of reunited at one point. I mean, just see the whole of it as a 38-year-old, as a 37-year-old man. To me, to like watch that is like, are they not like one of the? I mean, if we're talking about like Mount Rushmores of tag teams, I know that's a lot of faces, but like they're probably on that.
Yeah,
it's like Steiners, Road Warriors. It's Hardy's probably, maybe Usos.
Yeah,
New Day. Let's go 5. Usos, New Day. Like that's probably the list, right?
Yeah.
And shit, yeah, that's a fantastic. Like that's the best tag team they've added to the WWE Hall of Fame in a long time.
Yeah.
Like that's
Well,
more
I mean, they
iconic.
did the Hart Foundation. What was that, like 4 years ago?
Yeah. So truthfully, I would say the Steiners are kind
Watch
of
your tone.
they're bigger than the
Watch
Hart
your tone.
Foundation as a tag team. Maybe not as
Watch your
Bret Hart.
tone.
I'm just saying as a tag team. Their Hart Foundation's great. I'm not saying that Hart Foundation's not a integral part of wrestling. It's just they ain't the Steiners. They ain't the Road Warriors, but the Steiners the Road Warriors. Anyway,
Hey, so real quick, and then we can go ahead and we can tumble into match of the week.
okay.
Marcus Stunt was notified today that he is not, his contract is not going to be renewed by AEW, and AEW has cited the ever-growing roster pool.
Yeah. Budget cuts,
So
pal.
you're saying
Budget cuts, pal.
after they signed all the good fucking talent, they aren't re-signing the shit. Look, I'm sorry, Marco Stunt. Like, he's just a little guy, and like, I don't hate the man. I don't like, but it's not. It's not believable. It's not what wrestling television ought to be. He shouldn't be there. He should not have ever been there. And I think that AEW has done I cannot give Tony Khan and AEW enough praise, because over the last 8 months or so, they've really just turned the corner and gone, okay, we hired all the Young Bucks friends and all of all these friends here, and we're almost done. And we hired all these friends, and it's at this point we're like, now they're just like, maybe we don't need Marco Stunt, maybe we don't need Sonny Kiss, maybe we don't need Peter Avalon. All these people. We don't need Joey Janela. And they don't. And, we've realized at this point that, like, these guys were not major TV talents for a reason. And, that's why.
Fun size.
Fun.
Mr. You know what I feel like we're moving towards is actually making Dark relevant.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, honestly, guys, Dark is going to actually have to be filled with talent that we're interested in seeing at some point.
Well, they're going to fire
because the roster is getting smaller and smaller, obviously, as we go along.
Not smaller, better. The Dark is going to have like
smaller, but better.
The Dark's going to have like Jay Lethal, and truthfully, I think they're going to sort of get rid of that. And I think that
honestly disappointed with what's been going on with Jay Lethal as far as appearances go. I mean, I know he has a match this week with John Moxley. Haven't obviously watched this one.
He had a great match on Wednesday.
Yeah, but okay. So let's take out this week and Wednesday previous. The only other match that I can remember was his opening match. Maybe there was one other one.
Had a great match with Sammy Guevara.
Yes, great match. Like, then they've used him fine. Look, he's been in. Jay Lethal's an older guy. He's a more veteran talent. They're not going to put a belt on Jay Lethal, but they're going to put him in matches where he's going to shine. He's going to let other people shine, and they're going to give him time. And that's what they've done with him 4 times in the last month and a half. He's only been with the company a month and a half. So.
No way. Had to have been longer than that.
It's not been that much longer.
Maybe 2 months.
I don't know, man. I'm just not like I feel like he's a
what do you think
bigger name talent.
Like not
I feel
really.
Like he's
man.
a bigger name talent, man.
He's
like
not,
maybe I'm just a smart and I should just understand that normal people are not going to know of him.
It's not that. It's that they do know, but. He's more there for just
name identity.
name identity. I think they've used him great. Personally,
I agree.
Personally,
Okay.
I think they've used him perfectly at this point.
Hey,
talking
I'm not
about
gonna
match
lie.
of the
There's
week?
plenty of times I come on the show and throw out an opinion, and you guys, obviously I don't have the popular opinion, so that's fine.
We talking
No,
about
man.
match of the
I'll
week?
rethink things. Opinions subject to change. Just like the WWE.
Oh, match of the week.
My match of the week was Jay Lethal versus Adam Cole on Wednesday
Baby.
Night Dynamite. Baby. What a good match. It was fantastic. Not only was the match amazing, but so Adam Cole wins with a low blow, right? Hits Jay Lethal in the nuts, hits him with a move after that, and then sets him up, gives him the boom, drops the boom on him, and then pins him. And then they call out Adam Page right after the match. First of all, I want to say that AEW really did a great job. They gave this match about 10 minutes. Good match all the way through. Lots of reversals. These guys are some of the best actual wrestlers in the world. But they call out Adam Cole. And Adam Cole stupidly, or not Adam Cole, Hangman Adam Page comes out stupidly with Adam Cole and Red Dragon, the Undisputed Era, in the ring. And now they're the Undisputed Elite as far as YouTube is concerned, if we've been paying attention. And
Yeah, I don't see that actually fully fleshing out. I would hope not.
Man, it's so good right now because Adam Page comes out in his boots with the flat toes. Do you guys know why boots have flat toes? It's for your ankles.
No, I don't know.
Why?
It's for your ankles. It's better for your ankles.
Why? Really?
Because it's easier to suck dick. Anyway,
Jesus.
yes. Anyway, so
Hey, pal, that's aggressive. I wear square-toed shoes.
watch your mouth.
That's aggressive,
Anyway.
bud.
They're kind
That's
of in
aggressive.
style.
Okay. Well, sucking dicks and style. Anyway,
Damn.
I'm just here to light everybody on fire.
Jeez.
But Jesus Christ, right?
I'm
so anyway,
rethinking all kinds of life decisions.
Adam Page comes out. Adam Page shows up like an idiot, starts whipping everybody with his belt. However, there's 3 people in the ring. Adam Page gets his ass beat handedly. Has his ass beat, and then his title is stolen, and Adam Cole and Red Dragon run away. Now, this is then I've given AEW crap for continuity, and I will give them credit where credit is due, because on Friday then, AEW Rampage, there's like a triple threat match, and whatever triple threat match, I can't remember what happens, but like people are knocked down. Adam Cole comes out and steals the tag team titles, and now Red Dragon is holding. They haven't won them. They're holding the tag team titles, and Adam Cole is holding the AEW World Championship, and the Undisputed Elite has wandered away with the belts because they just have. Love it. Love the match. Adam Cole versus Jay Lethal was fantastic. It was kind of a dream match, if I'm going to be honest. Jay Lethal's fantastic. Jay Lethal's fantastic, and Adam Cole is probably one of my favorite in-ring competitors, period. And yeah, it happened, and loved it.
It was a good match. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Derek.
Well,
So I was going to come in here with something, but I kind of feel like I should switch it up a little bit because there's been a dark match going on I've been watching between Walt and this Jersey Mike sub that has been great during the entire show.
It's not really been a dark match, pal.
No, I love that there's been multiple times of Walt just randomly disappears and mutes the mic, and I get to enjoy watching him eat food as we do the show. Legit match of the week for me, and I'm gonna pull out the record that I broke 3 weeks ago. It seems it's gonna be, but I'll tell you, there's an extra layer to this as to why this is my match of the week. It's not so much because of the in-ring action; it's because of what was going on outside of the ring. This week's match of the week for me is going to be Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley versus the Hollywood Blondes. But there's been a new layer to this Julia Hart thing going on after she was, of course, sprayed in the face with the black mist by Malachi Dumbledore. She's now been wearing the eye patch, of course, and now we're seeing her keep her back to the ring and kind of in a strange mental space, I guess you could say. During the matches, it's not the cheerleader Julia Hart. She's not excited. She's not into the match. It's kind of, I'm interested to see where are we going with this. What's going on with her mentally and all that stuff. And I'm honestly more excited about that story than the match itself that I saw. It just so happened that, of course, they fought against the same people that I've been promoting for the past 3 weeks. But yeah, I'm curious to see where this goes. See what we're doing.
No, I definitely
obviously she's going to move along. Yeah, and I'm hoping it doesn't turn into an Alexa Bliss type of scenario.
You and me both.
Worst case scenario, that's what we got. But yeah, I'm curious to see where that goes.
So, not going to disagree with you. It was a good match. I enjoyed it. For the same reasons that you did. My match of the week goes to Ricky Starks and Swerve Strickland.
Ricky Starks, he's a star.
Hey man, this is just two high-level guys going out there and doing their thing, man. I really enjoyed watching this match. We got to see a little bit of aggression. We got to see some technical stuff. We got to see a little bit of flying. And of course, Hobbs on the outside has to get involved, has to mess everything up, and Hobbs does Hobbs. So I mean that's been cool, man. I'm really enjoying this storyline that Ricky Starks is in. Team Taz is in with Swerve and Keith Lee, and I hope that we continue to get to see that grow a little bit. I don't know. I know that I was very critical about all these stables and factions and whatnot, in AEW, but I mean they seem to be paying us off fairly well. And you can't argue about that. So it was a good match. I'm looking forward to. I would like to see it again in the future. And I'm sure that we will because they're both kind of at this like impasse, in their careers where they're going to mirror each other. I think so. It's going to be real interesting.
Yeah, I got to say anything with Ricky Starks got some potential on it. That
100%. He's a talker. I mean, a lot of people compare him to The Rock. At this point in time, and he can get in the ring and he goes, man. He had a match with Jay Lethal a couple of weeks ago that was fantastic.
Yeah, his only negative, and it's not a negative to me. It's just going to be a negative within the wrestling community. Is going to be his size, to where he's not going to be something that WWE is going to be interested in.
But, I mean,
if they were, he would be on a Ricochet level. So it's
don't
not
get me started
something
on
that
Ricochet, man. I'm pissed off that the U.S. title and the Intercontinental Championship are not being defended on WrestleMania. 2 nights we can't fit our 2 top tier mid card titles into the fold. I bet you there's a 24/7 championship fucking segment though. I bet you.
Good God, yeah, you're probably right. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's a damn shame. It really and truly is a damn shame.
If Michael Cole does not win the 24/7 championship before he retires, I'll be very disappointed.
So I don't know.
I think he deserved that.
But let's take it home, man. I'm gonna go put my kids to bed, and
yep.
So I'm assuming that's where Tom went, but he's still a little backstage there in the green room. So maybe we can reconvene after we put the kids together to the kids to bed and just keep talking here. We'll see what happens. So anyways, hey, listen, if you're here and you're watching, please hit that like button. We appreciate you spending your evening with us. Also, if you're catching us later, throw some comments. Let's talk about some things you guys want to talk about. we're all about that interaction. You know what I mean? So please like, comment, subscribe. We'll really greatly appreciate that. That helps us out too. Listen, audio folks, we appreciate you genuinely from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much for being there. So with all that being said, thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast.
I pooped.